There's one thing that makes every person cower in fear. It's one of the first things you experience growing up. It's not a kick, not a headbutt, not a knife, not even a gun. It's that. Animals have their fangs and claws. We humans have hands. Hands are humans' most dangerous weapons. That's why people instinctively flinch when someone raises a hand against them. Boxers are nothing more than someone else's paycheck. You're all managed. We let that cash roll in as you dance under the spotlight on that square stage. And by we, I mean the promoters. This is Genikasuri. This is a new boxing manga that has taken me by absolute surprise. The plot hits you from a completely different angle and the art gives you the rest. We see a TV playing the Olympic featherweight fight. As the commentator talks in the background, someone is playing out the fight with two puppets. The puppets seem to be mimicking the fight that's playing on TV. It connects, Hanabi! Don't forget that name. And this brings us to our main character, Harima. Now it's clear that the puppets he was playing with were just in his mind and he's lying in a hospital bed. He realized that he was tweaking like crazy just now and starts drooling. And I'm telling you, at this point I couldn't even imagine what role he'd be playing at the end of the chapter. His tooth is missing. He talks to the doctors about it, but they don't even react to it. Then he demands a steak, but he wants udon noodles too. And suddenly we're in a different scene. He is suddenly in the locker room talking about udon and meat. So we are in a boxing gym and he's about to have a fight. And this is his coach, a complete degenerate gambling addict who's betting on horses right this moment. It becomes clear that Harima is having a fight for the OPBF title tomorrow. The back and forth jumps from the hospital to here are confusing, but it'll all make sense in a minute. Now we learn that the main character Harima has been sparring one of the best boxers in the world, Dai Banjo, every single week. Harima's record is 10 fights, 10 wins, 7 out of those by knockout. He is a wild brawler and is so aggressive that his style is named Harima style after his own name. That's why Dai Banjo and his father demanded him as a sparring partner. More on Dai Banjo later. And now for the face-off between Ryo Harima and the OPBF champion. The champion's name is Daniel Zara, aka the Japanese Slayer. Damn! The pressure is rising. He says, "I'm gonna crush you." Harima looks shocked, but he is not. He's about to go insane. Every time he gets excited, he gets goosebumps on his scalp, so his hair gets spiky like a damn Super Saiyan. Now we're talking. My man wants all the smoke. And now we are back to the hospital bed again. He says he wants his victory steak. And by now, the story is becoming a little more clear. As he looks absolutely famished, he says that's right. The fight. The doctor is a fan of boxing and gives Harima a recap of his own fight. They clashed heads. Harima gave the champ some heat. He went blow for blow with him like a monster. But suddenly he gets a flashback mid-fight. You're gonna lose. And then the fight is over. His coach threw the towel. And it even looks like Harima was on the attack as the champ was retreating. Now Harima understands the whole situation. I lost. A whole world is breaking apart. And then he asks about his tooth. Although he just lost it yesterday, his gum has already healed up. As he says this, he looks at the TV again. And that's the match we saw before. It was an Olympics match. He asks the doc what year the Olympics are held. And suddenly his hospital gown slips off his shoulder. He looks like a starving zombie in the desert. This makes no sense. If he just fought a day ago, why is he so skinny? As his eyes widen in shock, the doctor tells him, "Mr. Harima, your match was 2 years ago." He lost consciousness after the match and then they did an emergency craniotomy, meaning they cut his skull open. He has been in a coma for the last 2 years. And as this tragedy sinks in, he thinks about the first day of boxing. His dad took him to the gym to teach him discipline and to have a goal in life. It was already clear he had a talent for fighting. He promised his dad he'd make bank after getting the title so he wouldn't have to work anymore. His dad tells him to not go overboard with boxing. He should rest more. He is even twitching in his sleep from the hard work. That pisses Harima off. He thinks his father is belittling him and tells him that's why he's just a mere truck driver. "I'm not gonna end up like you, Dad." And as he thinks about that, we're back in the hospital. "Doc, can you hold off on telling my father that I woke up? I don't have the courage to face him." The first thing he does is go back to his gym. This is where he finds out that it's completely empty, dead. But the coach, the gambling addict, is still there. He tells him to his face, Since you had a craniotomy, your life and career as a boxer is done for. It's over. Damn, man, how is this the first chapter if he's already done as a boxer? He wanted to be like Dai Banjo, the guy he had many sparring sessions with, a 2-division champion. And as he watches a fight on TV, he sees a guy who looks familiar. It's the guy from the flashback during the fight. The guy that told him you're gonna lose. Turns out the dude is a boxing journalist. He warned Harima before the fight. They meet up and talk. This is where Harima finds out about his dad. Half a year after the fight, his dad had a traffic accident and passed away. And he tells him something else about his coach. This is where Harima goes mad. He storms the gym and presses him. And now the whole truth finally comes out. The coach has completely ripped Harima off from head to toe. He even got his purse from the title match. The coach sold him out. Now we find out why Dai Banjo wanted to spar Harima so often. Harima's wild style is extremely similar to the style of Hugo Ramirez. He's the former featherweight champ of all 4 major organizations and the current WBA super featherweight champion. So he's basically the Ricardo Martinez of this story. Dai Banjo's team picked Harima for that exact purpose. He sparred with Banjo for years and got only like $50 per session. But now we find out that his coach got $1,000 every single session, 20 times more. The wealthy Banjo gym came across the struggling gym of a gambling addict drowning in debt. But why would they pay $1,000 a session to spar someone at bantamweight? They were paying for an expensive Ramirez dummy, and dummies are meant to be broken. They paid for the cost in advance, and Harima knew that his time as a boxer was running out. The twitching in his sleep was a clear sign, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Promoters like that prevent boxers from changing gyms and confine them to their own gyms like their own property, stealing their purses and sponsor fees. They exploit them. And now he's damaged goods. Harima's about to explode when he hears the whole story. He says, "Why couldn't you just let me die out there? You better take responsibility for letting me live." He is not giving up yet. We see a flashback to the night of the fight. Harima is tweaking and twitching due to his head trauma. Through his blurry vision, he sees the champ and says, I won't accept this. Every single one of those bastards, treating us boxers, treating me however they see fit. I'll get them, each and every one of them, even Banjo. I remember now, everything. As they were carrying me off, I remember thinking, once I'm back to my feet, I'll get my revenge on all of those leeching bastards. What are you doing, Harima? Says his teammate as he's looking down on Harima on the stretcher. And what he sees is this. I'll make them dance in the palm of my hands. He's laughing like a maniac with blood in his face, and he's the puppeteer planning his revenge. He's going to be the one pulling all the strings as the manager, but he doesn't have anything, not even a boxer, especially not someone with a big name. So how? And just then they hear some commentary from the TV. It's Hanabi, the guy who was fighting in the Olympics in the beginning of the video. He sets the Japanese flag on fire and holds it in the air. He rips it apart and says, "This isn't what I came here to do." And he goes absolutely insane because he got the silver medal instead of gold. Now we see Harima reacting to this wild scene. His hair is spiky once again. Now we are talking. Have I promised you too much? This is the most insane plot ever. He fought for the OPBF title and got a career-ending injury in the first chapter. And then he goes on a big revenge mission with the help of a hothead who sets his own flag on fire. This is like Hajime no Ippo combined with Berserk, man. Absolutely insane. Hype the video if you can, and I'll see you in the next one.